Little Snow and the 7 Ducklings. It was a bright, beautiful morning in the kingdom's meadow. Mother Duck had entrusted her little ducklings with an important mission. "My darlings," she quacked, fluffing her feathers with pride, "I must go and find us some. While I'm away for breakfast, you have a crucial task," she instructed with a gentle yet firm tone. "You must keep a vigilant eye on your last unhatched sibling. It's incredibly important. Can I count on you?" "Yes, Mama," the 6 ducklings chirped eagerly, their voices harmonizing in agreement. "Excellent," she replied, nodding approvingly. "Stay close together. And don't let the egg out of your sight." With a tender nuzzle, Mother Duck turned and waddled off toward her destination. On the riverbank, a lively crew of 6 ducklings embarked on a quest for food. Each one had its own unique personality. Their tiny, webbed feet pattered eagerly around a sizable, speckled egg. There was Happy, ever cheerful and fond of laughter, Grumpy, who grumbled about everything yet harbored a tender heart, and Bashful. Once upon a time, there was a bashful soul who turned crimson at the smallest hint of attention. Sneezy, forever caught in a sneezing fit, Doc, ever curious and full of questions, and Sleepy, who, true to his name, was perpetually drifting into slumber. "All right, everyone," chirped Happy, bouncing excitedly on his webbed feet. "Let's keep an eye on this little one." Happy's focus was as fleeting as a tadpole's tail. Suddenly, a soft melody floated over from the pond's far side. "Listen," he exclaimed, "someone's playing." With his bright eyes gleaming with curiosity, he waddled toward the enchanting sound. The music came from a girl whose hair was as dark as midnight, and her skin was as pale as freshly fallen snow, Little Snow. Known affectionately by all, she played a gentle melody on her reed flute. Happy, enchanted by the sound, joined in, nodding his head to the beat. Before long, Bashful, his cheeks a rosy pink, shyly stepped closer. "It sounds wonderful," he whispered, his voice almost lost in the breeze. The allure of the music had captured him completely. Cheerful music filled the air, and Little Snow's friendly smile was contagious. Grumpy, despite his best efforts to resist, found himself tapping his little webbed feet along with the beat. "Well," he grumbled, "it's not half bad." Yet his eyes sparkled with amusement. Ever the curious one, Doc leaned in closer to the flute and wondered aloud, "How does it make that sound?" His curiosity got the better of him until, before long, Ed was bombarding Little Snow with a whirlwind of questions about music and rhythm. Sneezy, with his constant sniffle, let out a delicate "achoo" and confessed with a smile, It's rather catchy," as he wiped his beak with his wing. One by one, they all abandoned the egg, leaving only Sleepy behind. But Sleepy wasn't really on guard. He was dozing off, snoring contentedly, oblivious to the fact that something crucial was unfolding. With Sleepy comfortably at rest, the 5 ducklings dashed off to join Little Snow, playing games and twirling to her enchanting music. They played in the shallow water, splashing around, chasing dragonflies, and laughing until their small bellies ached. "You have so many brothers and sisters," Little Snow exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. "I'd love to meet the one still in the egg and the one who's sleeping." "Oh, you'll adore Sleepy," Happy chirped. He's very sleepy. The egg is about to hatch any moment." They guided Little Snow back to where the egg had been laid. But Sleepy was dozing off, his tiny head nestled under his wing, and the egg had vanished. "Sleepy, wake up," Happy exclaimed, gently shaking him. "Where's the egg?" Sleepy blinked, his eyes wide with surprise. Confusion set in. Where was the egg? "I was sure it was still here." Panic spread among the ducklings like wildfire. Mother Duck would return any moment. "We must find it," Doc proclaimed, his voice brimming with determination. But Bashful, with a voice that quivered, wondered, "Where do we even begin to look?" Little Snow gestured towards a path sprinkled with bits of eggshell leading away from the nest. "It seems like it rolled," he remarked. As they trailed the fragments, little Snow picked up on something unusual. Did anyone else catch that sound? A faint hic resonated from the tall grass. Grumpy tilted his head, puzzled. "What?" he murmured. As they followed the eggshell trail, it led them through a field of tall reeds, past a rather disgruntled-looking frog, and beneath the branches of a willow tree. With every hic, the noise intensified, and broken pieces of eggshell multiplied. "It's getting closer," little Snow exclaimed, spotting a rolling, round shape. Emerging from behind a bush, Doc squinted as he noticed something. "It's the egg." The egg teetered, and with each hiccup, it inched forward, leaving a trail of tiny eggshell fragments behind. Sneezy gasped in surprise. "It's hatching." Everyone crowded around as the final pieces of the shell broke apart to unveil. A small, fluffy duckling with the most adorable, large eyes blinked up at them and chirped a soft, "Hi." Little Snow chuckled. "She has the hiccups." The tiny duckling teetered on her feet, letting out another hic, causing her to bounce in place. "Oh, she's simply precious," Happy exclaimed. "I'm not sure, she seems a bit." Goofy Grumpy grumbled, yet his scowl eased as he observed the tiny duckling stumble about. Bashful beamed. "She's perfect." Doc tapped his temple, then gently booped the duckling's beak. She let out another adorable hic and fluttered her tiny wings. Little Snow grinned. "What should we name her?" The ducklings all nodded in agreement. The little duckling, now completely out of its shell, gazed around with wide, innocent eyes. Each time it let out a hiccup, it waddled forward a bit, leaving a path of shattered eggshells in its wake. "Hic hic," it squeaked once more, then glanced at its siblings in the snow, its eyes brimming with confusion. At that moment, Mother Duck came back, her beak brimming with juicy reeds. "My little ones," she quacked, her eyes widening in surprise as she noticed the trail of eggshells and the small, hiccuping duckling. "Mama," the ducklings sang in unison, eager to share their little adventure. Mother Duck chuckled, her eyes glowing with warmth. "Oh, Hiccup, you really gave us quite a fright. But now that you're back, nothing else matters." Little Snow clapped her hands excitedly. "That was such a blast. Maybe next time, we can all embark on another adventure together." The ducklings quacked in agreement, all except for Sleepy, who was already dozing off. Once more, with their new sibling, Hiccup, by their side, Little Snow and the 7 ducklings waddled back home, eager for whatever adventures lay ahead. The end.